Okay, let's get set here. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So, here we are at February 1st, 2022, and we got the loop rolling here. Let me just click in here real quick and see if I can get in the chat this time. All right, so had the loop running there a couple of times so you could see what's going on there. And we'll freeze frame it here and start going through it frame by frame here. Hi, a couple people I see already here. So let's go down here and we'll pause it at the very beginning and start from there. So let's back it up a little bit. Okay, so here we are at the opening frame of 024, and here's our eruption starting to happen. You can see our instrument's already reacting to it here. You can make out a faint little object over here and another one up here. And we'll focus on those ones later, but for right now we're going to focus on this one right here, and then we're going to go frame by frame forward as it starts to emerge. Okay, now let's back it up. Now, as it comes out, on this next frame right here, it freezes up. It holds up for a minute, and then the CME continues out. Here's our object still back here, but our CME is extended out. Then it goes another frame out, and then another jump out, and then it finally releases. And then, as you see, it comes. Here's a good shot of it right here. Here it is, enveloped in some of the CME material. You can make out the backside edge of it right there. Let me see if I can make this camera a little bit better so we're not getting wavy lines in it. Okay, let's zoom in on this object here and bring it over here. And here we go. Here, let's let the cat out. All right, go out, kitty. Okay, now back to this here. Here you can clearly see this object right here, and it's enveloped in the CME material still. And then we're going to back it up here because something I want you to see here. Okay, now let's zoom out here, get rid of this. Okay, so here we are at this frame right here. It's 048, and we have our eruption. And then on the next frame, the object stalls, but the CME actually jumps off of it now like a ghost. Then it continues out even more. That's a full hour later, and then it finally releases from the sun. And here it comes. You can see it right there. Right there. And you can still see it as it exits the screen. Here, we'll go zoom in on this a little bit, make it bigger for the audience here. Okay, now let's back it up. Now you can see, whoopsie. Let's get this more centered there. Okay. See how it stops and the CME jumps off of it? Boom, boom, boom. Then it releases. Go backwards. Go forward. One more time. So that object stalled coming off the sun. The CME it caused keeps going. And it stayed there for a whole hour until it released. And then you can see it moving out right there. And there's a good shot of it. And that was today. back out of this here. Okay, over on this side too, let's just go focus on that real quick, because there's another little object over here coming out. We'll zoom in on this, and we'll alright, so you can see after this one comes off to the lower right, you'll start to see these streaks coming off over here. And let's zoom in a little bit better there. Now you can see it. Okay. Then as we progress, you'll see the instrument reacting to it. And then, as it moves out, let's see back up right here. You can make out the circular shape right here of this object as it continues to move out, causing reactions again with our instrument reacting to this object that's right there. And you can even see these streaks are streaming around it. Up above and down below here, these streaks are streaming around this object that's right here. There's a shot where you can see it right there. It's right in here. And as we go forward, you can still see it right there. There's a good shot of it. Right here. Then we have this eruption happening up here. Let me get rid of this zoom thing real quick here. And these are the closing frames of today. There still hasn't been any more new data updated. But then here we go again up here. And I want you to notice as this extends out, look at the square shape of this shock wave. Boom, boom, boom. Usually they're arced. This is obviously another object right here. In fact, you can see it faintly right here. Let's zoom in on that. Bring this over just a little bit more. So maybe, I don't know if it's going to turn out very well, but here it is. Here's our round object right there. I don't know how well it's showing up on this screen, but okay, so that was today. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, now let's go back a day, because there was some interesting activity yesterday on the sun, and let this load up real quick. Hopefully, I'm trying to get these wavy lines out of the screen here. Wow, that looks maybe a little better. Well, for the side that we need, it's better. Okay, there we go. You see this little activity over here? There's something emerging on this side. And then you'll see right here this streak, and then there's another eruption right there. And we'll freeze frame it on that, because caught in that frame, the very last frame of all of this, the very last frame, 97 of 97, is this one right here. A lot going on in this one. So first, let's go over here and zoom in on this object and bring it forward so you guys can see it. Okay, it's this round object right here, and you can see some CME materials come off and wrapped around part of it, and it's reaching out, going around it like this. You can make out the circular shape going here. The rest of it's tucked in behind the CME material back here. But here's our object again, nice round object. And then as I zoom back out, keep your eye on it. Okay. Then on the other side over here, there seems to be some activity going on. So I'm going to go in and zoom in over on this one. Okay, that's pretty good. Right here, you can see the circular object. We have the streaming material coming off of below it and above it right here. It's right here, this round object right here. Almost looks like it kind of has a face on it. There's an eye here, an eye there, the tip of the nose, and a little mouth slit down here. And it looks like a perfectly round face looking at the sun with stuff streaming off behind it there. Maybe if I move my hand out of the way and zoom in a little closer, you guys can see the face that I'm talking about. Pull it up and get that out of the way. Right there. Okay. Right here. 2 eyes, little nose and mouth. And you can still see this one over here. Nice and clear. It looks like it has a little tiny moon or something to it. Okay, so quite interesting. It looks like some of these objects might be spiritual in nature. And it's still there as we back out to the screen right there. You can still see them tucked right there. And this object stuck right there. One more time, back out all the way. Tuck that away. So, interesting stuff that's going on around our sun. And if you saw my last video, I've been showing you even more objects, the same kind of activity going on here. And there we go. Try and get rid of some of these little wavy lines. Okay, so yeah, this object right here, and then this little guy over here kind of pouting. He doesn't look too happy. He looks just like he's just looking at what's going on. And that was back on the 31st. So let's go back to the 30th, because here is where we had our big Earth-facing CME. Now, the other video I did was from a different angle. It was from the satellite Stereo A, and this data had not updated yet. So now we finally have this data. And I'm looking for the object that we saw clearly on Stereo A, and it doesn't appear to be in this video. I don't see the object anywhere, and I'm kind of looking around wondering, I wonder what happened to it. And I see this stuff come off the top up here, right here, this little black object, but I don't think that's it. The CME is like a moderate CME. Speaking of which, that CME is due to hit tonight over the midnight hours into the early morning hours of tomorrow. So there's going to definitely be some aurora going on. And I have a feeling with the object that was in with that CME, that if it passes close by our planet, it could cause some volcanic activity, more earthquake activity, and just tidal surges and retreats, and we could see some crazy stuff. I hope I'm wrong, but in this image here, it doesn't appear anywhere from this angle. I'll go back to the other angle that I'm referring to, just for those of you who don't know what I was talking about from last video. It's, no, not that one, my bad. Please be patient with me here. Nope, not that one either. It was the 30th. There it is. Okay. This is Stereo A. This is looking at the sun from a different angle. It's looking at the left-hand side of the sun from about, maybe I have 35 to 45 degree angle straight away from the sun. So you're looking at the left-hand side of the sun. And in this video was captured another object. And I will pause it real quick here, because in this shockwave you can see this big dent, and the instrument even reacts to the dent. Well, here, let's just go backwards now. And here you can see that our instrument has a very sharp dent in it. This shockwave should be coming out nice and round. I've never seen a shockwave that has such a violent dent in it like that. And it's because there's an object right here and it's bending, it's holding up this shock wave. And we'll go forward through this a little more. Let's back up right there. Here's our object right here. It's this round object. It's causing this stuff to bend around it and then bounce off and come back out again. And that was the object that I had showed you from my last video. There's a good clear shot of it right there. Nice round object right there. And when that thing exited, it looked like it went in between this satellite and the Earth. So it puts it pretty darn close to our vicinity. I don't think it's going to hit us. This object right here, and then let's back out of this. And what I'm going to try to do is put this back into motion, go forward, and start. And then I want to see how well we can catch it on the red side over here, because over here you can see this bow. If I can get it to pause. Oops. Now go. Alright. So here we are over here with the same dent in the shock wave right here. And now as this object moves out, you will see the shock wave wrap around it and cup around this round spherical object. So I'm going to go back out, and it cups around it. Here you can see it, barely see it here, but here at the very end it's all round and all the stuff is wrapped around it. Let's see if I can put this back into motion here. Bear with me for a second here. I wasn't too ready to do a live stream tonight, but it was so important I felt I had to bring it to you. So okay, I just want you to watch as that stuff wraps around it when it moves out. Now that object is moving out in between this satellite, to the right of this satellite, which is close to our direction. And when I go back here, let's zoom back out. Hopefully the camera picked that up a little bit. It's kind of hard the way I'm doing it here, so. But what I wanted to point out was here. So as that thing moves out, it's moving towards our planet, it looks like. I don't think it's going to hit it, but that's what I was going to show you is, let's pause it right about here. Let's back up one frame here. One more right there, because when you look at this object, it's about level with the occulter right here. So if we were looking from this angle, if we were looking from this way, and we had an occulter in the way right here, it would block the image of this thing coming at us. So I have a feeling that's why you don't see it in that other image, is because it's behind the occulter coming at us. So just a little theory of why we can't see it in the other SOHO image, is because it's behind the occulter of that camera. And our Earth is positioned on just below the southern hemisphere of the sun. We're down a little bit like this and out. So this object would go north of our planet. It would be in the northern hemisphere, would probably get a good view of it, or even people at the North Pole. And it looked like it was moving slower than the CME. The CME wrapped around it and continued past. So the CME is due to hit here later tonight. I think this object, if it's going to pass with this CME, it'll be passing maybe another half a day later, or maybe a full day later. So, because it seemed like it was moving slower, this stuff actually wrapped around it and passed it as it went out. So, I think we will see some kind of effects from this. Definitely, we will see effects from the CME hitting. So, hold on, people. You know, we're going to see some more wild weather. We're already seeing the wild weather. The East Coast is just getting hit. There's usually like a hurricane or a typhoon when these things are around, and sure enough, there's one. I think it's down by in the southern hemisphere. I saw it today. So we have another typhoon brewing when this object and this CME are coming by all at the same time. Seems to happen like this all at the same time. These things kind of coordinate. Seem so. That was the 30th, and then I showed you the 31st, and let's go back to today and let that one finish uploading. I'm going to move the camera back to position here. You know, let's just watch this one. I love how it stalls. It stalls for a whole hour, and its ghost jumps off of it and keeps moving out. So let's pause that and do that a few times right there, because I want you guys to see this effect that it does. Okay, so now pull this down so we get right in the middle of the screen. My bad there. Thank you for bearing with me here as I do this. I'm not the most high-tech streamer in the world, but I do got a good eye. So here's this instrument reacting, and this is the where the object stalls, and then the next frame the CME jumps off of it, like the ghost of this image jumped off of it and proceeds out for another 4 frames. If you look down here, it's 148, and when it stopped, here, let me position this right. Okay, here it stopped at 148, and it started. Okay, it started back on 048. So right there, let me even zoom in on this event so you guys get a better view of what I'm talking about. Let's see if it shows up better here. Okay, slide it up a little bit. Okay, so boom, right there. Now that whole bubble is in black, has frozen, and the CME continues off of it. It's like it slammed on its brakes, but all the plasma that was with it kept going. Then it continues again and again for a full hour until this object finally releases. And here you can see the round curvature I'm talking about. Let me center this so it's better for you guys. Right here is our object, and you can see it cup in the CME as it moves out. And that was today, folks. So this CME isn't Earth facing, but it's still got these objects in it, and I've been reporting on these objects for a good month now, and they've been quite regular. You know, there's like maybe skip one day when there's no activity, but then it's right back to it. And now it's not just one object at a time. We're getting 3 objects in one day, which is, to me, is, you know, I can notice there's an uptick in this, and I'm sure you guys notice it too. There's a good shot of it just sitting there plain as day now. So we did that one, and we did the other one. I want to go back to this one on the 30th, I think it was. This was, no, it was yesterday's. Because I've seen this activity. Oh, hello, Lisa Tuffy. We just kind of went over what we're looking at, but here I'll kind of go over this one last time here. I want to freeze frame on this last frame. right there. Okay, whoops, that's not it. There we go. All right, this frame right here. And pull it over more this way. And I'm going to zoom in on this because this little sphere right here with the face in it, once that disappears, pull this up a little bit right there. Maybe you can see it better now. Yeah. All right, I'm talking about this sphere right here that's causing this CME. It has two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. These happen to be perfectly positioned on the sphere. It's the right dimensions down. The eyes are about halfway down. The face is proportional to the size of the sphere. This is more than a coincidence. These spheroids have faces on them. And I've been taking pictures of this stuff happening in our clouds. And here you can kind of see that this one has a face, and we'll roll it down again. Maybe there you can see it a little bit better. And these objects don't behave like the normal celestial objects do. It's because I think there's something spiritual in nature about what's going on here. In fact, I know there is. But anyways, kind of reminds me of my avatar. It's a sphere with two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. It's like this thing's kind of copying my avatar for my channel. And this isn't the first time I captured faces. I usually don't point them out or talk about that stuff at all. But in this one, it's pretty clear. This looks like almost something out of the paintings from the 1700s or whatever, when they were seeing faces in the spheres in the sky and stuff like that. This is all biblical that's happening here. And here's this object just chilling. You got material coming out and wrapping around it. Almost has like a little halo of material going around the top part of this sphere right here. But you can see this arm reaching out and feeding it material. It's wrapping around it. And now these are becoming more cookie cutter, crisp, clear images, where before we were just looking at the material flowing over like a rock in a river. You're watching material flow over it, and you can see that there's a mass underneath it. Now they're more dominant and prominent, and now they're even kind of showing their face. So it's up to you. It's whatever you believe. You know, I'm not saying that's exactly what's going on. It's just very some coincidence that it's exactly proportional to a perfect face right there with a forehead and a head. It's just too coincidental, especially when you've seen some of the other stuff I've captured. So anyways, I thought I would bring this to you guys because we have continued activity, and it just keeps continuing. Each day I get up and I check this instrument, and it's like, what are we going to see today? You know, and we're having all sorts of different little tricks added. This makes it look three-dimensional now instead of two-dimensional. You know, I think that's what the face on it helps do. Let me pull that forward just a little bit more for you. So you'll see it more as a three-dimensional object instead of two-dimensional, just like a circle on a piece of paper. These are spheroid-shaped objects, you got to remember. And when you put a face on it, it gives it a three-dimensional look to it. Anyways, I thought I would bring that to you guys because this activity is continuing, and I see a couple other people report on the sun and stuff, but I think some of them are missing the main event here, or what's going on. That was, like I said, that was there. That was yesterday. One more time to today. We'll wrap it up with that one maybe. Yeah, I can't wait to see the rest of this and find out what that thing is right there. It's obviously going to be something. Let's pause real quick on that last frame and take a look at that object because, ooh, right there. Because I think I just saw something here. Let's pull this down a little more to the middle of the screen so you guys can see. Oh, and then I'm going to try to magnify this real quick. I don't know if you guys can see it. It appears there's some black circular object right here. This might be a bow shock or something to it, or it might be this might be a bigger object with something smaller. But you can clearly see this shock wave. I've never seen something. It looks like a thimble. It comes out, turns, goes totally flat, turns, and comes right back. 90-degree angles on a CME. That's something I've never seen before. You know, it's just you can tell that this is going to be another one of these objects when it pops out and we get the rest of the data. Back out of that one. So that's what's been going on the last few days. I showed you the big CME back on the 30th. It's Earth facing. It's heading this way. It appeared to have some kind of object along with it, and we will see what happens coming up this next 24 hours. Is when I think it's due to hit here. So hold on tight, people. You know, you're going to be seeing some weird weather and more volcanoes and more earthquakes, I think. And then after that, we still got continued activity going on. This isn't Earth facing, but this is still more of this activity. What happens to the sun still affects our planet. So these objects are stripping material away. They're causing disruption still on our planet. Okay, and that was it as far as our update on the sun. And now I can't really close it out with a video because this computer will crash. I just leave it at this, I guess. We'll put this one back into motion. Whoops. And watch as this one down here comes off. Its CME actually jumps off of it, like the ghost of the CME jumps off of it there. It's right there. And that's something I've never seen before. We've seen these objects get slowed up and be held up by the sun and then snap and release. Sometimes they release up into place in an orbit around a bigger object. Sometimes they just release. But this one got held up for a whole hour, and its CME, like the ghost of it, just jumped right off of it. Boom. And just in case you did not see the object in this one, we will point it out one more time because there's clearly an object in this one. Let's go to the next frame. Back up a little bit. Yeah, you can, nice clear image right here. And it's enveloped in this cloud of CME material. You can see it popping out right here, but it's the rest of the backside of it's still enveloped in this cloud of CME. It's all plasma that's all wrapped around this stuff. These objects, when they go by, they're stripping plasma away off of the sun. These CMEs keep continuing out into space, and that's material that used to be the sun that's being ripped away and going out into space forever, never to return to the sun. You know, and these blasts, we've been dodging most of them. We got one coming here soon, but here's another one. Huh. I almost see like a little face on that guy too. Here, just to entertain you guys real quick. Two eyes, a nose, and his mouth right there. That one almost looks like like it's got a purposely got a face on it too. One eye, perfectly symmetrical face right there. Anyways, that's not necessarily there, but you can clearly see we have an object there. And that one's going to be going, off to the side of us, so it'll miss us. But the one on the 30th, it's coming with this CME. You guys really take a look outside, look up to the north, maybe around 6 hours after the CME is done, or 12 hours, somewhere around there. That object's trailing right behind it. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like, some of the FAA cameras or something like that up in the northern hemisphere or up by the North Pole might capture something. So you guys that do that, look at those cameras. Keep an eye out now. Might be capturing something buzzing close by. Anyways, that's about it for now. I figured I'd bring this to you while I got a few minutes. I'd like to stay and sit here and chat with you guys, but I want to put a video on in the background. Let's take a minute to see everybody who's here. We got Buckeye Jim, Fang Mistas, Lisa Tooley, Kenley's here. Idol de Resistance Informitadora Anonimino. Jason Tomlinson, Shy. Thank you all for coming out, you guys. And I hope you understand that I'm not trying to scare you guys and stuff. I'm just trying to report on stuff that I'm finding. I was told to watch the sun for signs, and that's what I do. I monitor the sun, and these are signs in the sun that were promised in the Bible. And let's see if maybe I can pull up a video if my computer will let me here. It is so jam-packed full of stuff right now. Let's see if I can go to one of my videos here. And we'll close out with probably the most important thing all you guys need to know. All this activity is for a reason, and it's because of this. And let's see if we can, whoops, never mind that stupid ad there. I'm gonna skip that thing. On the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. That crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head too. And once you see that image, then we can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go. Okay, and this event happened over a course of about an hour, and I got a lot of pictures of it. See, if we go up above here, you can see all these pictures up from way over here going across, or all of this event, and I'm going to show you more of what happened here. Okay, here I've taken about 7 or 8 of those pictures and put them together in a flip book, and you can see the different images, and that this event, is taking place here because there's more that happens here. Okay, so starting here, we're going to go forward a little bit here through a lot of these images, all the way to right about here, where you can see that this face has changed now. Now we're seeing a more round, like lion type face with the nose right here. Here's an eye coming out here, an eye going that way. Here's its mouth slit, the chin going down here. So this round face right here with a crown still above it. Now I'm going to go through and show you the flip book where it changes from Jesus to this lion face. Okay, now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures, and it's the transition between Jesus' face and the lion face. Now this happened in the clouds, and it was so big and in your face you couldn't see it. It wasn't until I took these images and zoomed out and compressed them. You didn't zoom in, they're too big in your face. You have to zoom out to see these. And these images that you're looking at have all been compressed, each frame, and then put into a flip book. And you can clearly see Jesus' face here with his crown hovering over his head, turning into that weird little lion face or whatever right there. Okay? And this happened back around Easter 20. So with Christmas right around the corner, I think I wanted to bring some hope to you folks and show you that, it's really happening, and, you guys can look up into the clouds and take pictures just like I do. Let's see here if we can freeze frame it right on that face right there. It doesn't look like it's turning out too good on the video, but anyways, there's a round face right here with an eye, a nose, and a slit, and it looks similar to what we were just looking at on the satellite. It's a spheroid shape with a face on it. And if you can't see this clear, go back to my channel and watch Christmas Gift, and you can see this image a lot clearer. Okay, you guys can see it a little bit. Oh, hopefully you can. Anyways, I just want to close out with that and remind you guys that everything you see going on is all part of the plan. This is all part of God's plan. You're watching the unfolding of the Bible and the end here, and these objects are part of it, and I'm just going to continue to report on them and bring them to you when these events happen, and hopefully you guys will go to that site too and check it out and look for yourself. Some of these things you can see a lot better when you're looking at them on the computer compared to my rinky-dink little setup here. So anyways, I just wanted to thank all of you for coming tonight. I really appreciate your little turnout there, and please help me share this. This is the most important message right now that's going on. All this stuff is happening around the world. These are all distractions. You need to notice all the catastrophes and the craziness that's going on as far as Mother Nature and the weather and the volcanoes. It's unprecedented. We've never been in a time like this, and it's because we're here towards the end, and we're seeing Jesus in the clouds as promised. So if some of these images that are next to the sun appear to have faces on them, it's no surprise because I'm capturing it here in the clouds as well. And if you guys want to see more of that, I have more of that stuff on my channel. Just click on videos and all my stuff will drop down, and you'll see all kinds of amazing stuff I've caught in the clouds. And this is all in a different dimension. This is all further back than you can usually see. This is from a bigger perspective. I take these pictures and I compress them down. I zoom out of them and not zoom into them. And it's once you zoom out and you're 10 dimensions back, all this stuff becomes crystal clear. And if you want a little hint, here's a little trick. If you see some kind of event unfolding in the sky and you think there might be a face hiding in it, open up the camera on your phone and it will take it'll take the big sky like that and squeeze it down to the size of your screen, and that compresses the image. So you hold your phone up to the cloud and you'll start to see these faces in your phone because the phone will compress the images for you. Okay, and once you see one, then you'll start clicking off pictures. And if you have any program to where you can even zoom out further and make your picture smaller, it's in like step back 10 steps from it, you can actually see this other dimension that's showing up in the clouds. And these are the wonders in the sky that we're promised too. So we're seeing signs in the sun, we're seeing wonders in the sky, we're seeing wars and rumors of wars and chaos and all that everywhere, and now I'm showing you Jesus in the clouds. I'm telling you, this is real footage. I can't doctor that stuff. It's an hour long, and I took 200 pictures of it and put it all together in a flip book, which makes like a small video when you go through them really fast. And in that flip book, this face of Jesus turned into a lion face with this on it. And this happened on Easter of all days. So these are signs. These are definitely, prophetic signs. And I feel I have to bring this stuff to you guys and let you know because, for those that are believers, you'll find comfort. I know things are getting a little chaotic and getting hectic, and everybody's on edge and a little anxious and stuff. That's why I try to bring this stuff to you, is to show you that this realm is real, and if you're a believer, there's nothing to worry about. You're going to be okay. For all those that are evil, boy, do they have a surprise coming. Okay, that's about it for now. That's about all I got for you guys for now. I love you all. I miss all you guys and stuff. I'll see you every once in a while at Marfoogle, or every once in a while when I do a live stream. But that's about all I got for you for tonight. So I love you all. I miss you all. Thank you all for coming. And with the activity at the rate it's going, I'll probably be back up doing another live stream here within a day or two with even more to report. So hopefully not, but we'll see. Anyways, love you all, miss you all. I bless you all. God bless every single one of you. And stay strong. Keep your chin up. Keep your head up, because Jesus is there in the clouds. He's close. Love you all. Bye.